social distance.
Yeah, exactly. I guess
I think there's broad general agreement that small businesses in this country will not be able to survive unless there's extraordinary assistance. And so the idea behind the proposal that we are finalizing now is the idea of how can we transfer money as quickly as possible to help small businesses meet payroll and operating obligations for a period of time roughly equivalent to 6 weeks. It's not loans that could be. They will become grants if you used it for payroll and customary business. If you used it for some other purpose, then it'll transition into the equivalent of what's now called an impact loan. But listen, the overwhelming majority of the people that are going to seek these out are going to use it for purposes of paying their employees and keeping, their rent or their lease or their mortgage up to date so they don't get evicted. Because if we don't prevent that, then it's going to spread into the real estate market as well. But yes, every penny that they borrow and use for purposes of keeping people employed, they will not have to pay back.
Loans that could later be grants if they...
we're talking to people on both sides of the aisle. There's no reason why this should be a partisan exercise. And in fact, I would say if we cannot come together in a bipartisan way to form a response to such a serious threat to our public health and our economy, then shame on us. And I believe that we can come together. So I anticipate optimistically that we will stay here until this work is done on the third bill. And my hope is that we will pass it sometime this weekend. So I'm going to give some of the family leave provisions that are in the bill that we've just approved, and I voted for it, are difficult to administer. And for reasons that I don't understand, they do not apply to very large businesses, those over 500 employees. So I think that our proposal will be very effective in ensuring that jobs are there for employees once this crisis ends, and that's the purpose of it. It is intended to ensure that employees can make it through this period, that the small business can make it through this period, and that when this crisis passes, they can reunite, and we will still have vibrant Main Street businesses employing millions of Americans. In the state of Maine, in the last 3 days, there were more claims for unemployment compensation than in all of March of last year. 3 days. And that shows that businesses are already feeling the cash flow problems, seeing declining revenues, losing customers, and being forced to lay off their employees. That's why we feel so strongly that we must act, and we must act immediately.